What is an accent? What is an American accent? Is it pronunciation? Is it a dialect? Do all Americans have the same accent? Should I get rid of my accent? Am I too old to learn the American accent? In this video, I'm going to do some research explaining why it might be useful for you to learn the American accent. We are also going to get to the bottom of some common misconceptions and myths that people think and believe about their own foreign accent. So, to get started, what is an accent? We keep using this word, but what does it actually mean? Well, according to American Accent Training, my favorite resource to use, let's see what Ann Cook has to say. Accent is a combination of four main components. Number 1, voice quality. Number 2, intonation. We talked about that in my last video. Number 3, liaisons, which are essentially connections, word linking, and grouping. And number 4, pronunciation. Anne goes on to say that while vocabulary and grammar are very systematic and structured, and there's a very clear method to learning and using vocab and grammar, the same is not true for having and using an accent. Your accent is personal to you. It's something that comes intuitively. It's creative. It's something that can be flexible. It's not something that's going to sound exactly the same for every single speaker of the same language. In American English, we have a very distinct pattern combining these four components. That's why so many people are very intrigued by it and want to learn it. But what's the point of learning the American accent if I'm not a native English speaker? That's a great question. It depends on your goal. Why are you learning the language to begin with? Are you working and living in America? Do you work for an American company? Are you planning to attend university in the United States? If any of those scenarios apply to you, then the number one reason for wanting to learn the American accent is so that you can be better understood and better understand native language speakers in the United States. And when I use the term native, I'm really just referring to people that were born and raised here. When someone goes through accent training, they have options. You can choose to either learn a specific regional dialect, let's say a New Jersey or Californian accent, or you might choose to learn a general American accent. This option is most common and is going to be the most useful for non-native speakers of American English. A lot of people are concerned that because of their age and where they're at in their life, that it might be too late to try or that it's going to take too long. While yes, it will take you a long time, it all depends on your previous exposure and use of the language, your current exposure and opportunities for using the language, and the amount of time that you can realistically dedicate practicing, implementing, and using what you're learning. Just like if you were to start learning a new instrument or maybe a new sport, it will take you time. It'll take weeks to months to years to truly feel like a master. The same really applies for accent learning and training, especially if you can't dedicate your entire day to doing this. Maybe you only have a half hour at the end or beginning of each day, and that's perfectly fine, but you have to be realistic with your expectations if that's the case. Remember, it's not impossible, but it will take time. Another common myth or misconception is that if you learn the American accent, you're going to lose your original foreign accent, and that's not necessarily the case. Just because you're learning the American accent doesn't mean that your original accent is going to disappear and go away. You can turn it off and kind of put it in your back pocket, but you can always bring it back. It's kind of like muscle memory. Your brain and your mouth will remember how it feels, especially if you've gone like 20, 30, 40 years of your life speaking that way. It's not something that you're just going to cancel and delete out of your brain. Now, your impulse to speak that way will lessen if you're very dedicated and focused and intentional about speaking with a more general American accent. Absolutely. You might sometimes forget, how did I say it in the past? But quite honestly, if you're an adult at this point and you're starting this process, you're always going to be able to turn it back on. Okay, let's summarize. What is an accent? Voice quality, intonation, liaisons, and pronunciation. Is it a bad thing to have a foreign accent? Absolutely not. Is it a good thing to want to learn the general American accent if you are living and working in the United States? Yes. Is it a good thing to learn the general American accent if you are working for an American company abroad? Yes. Should you focus on changing your accent if everyone can understand you and you feel very confident? No, there's no point. If you are understood and other people understand you and you love your accent, keep it. There's no point in going against who you are and trying to change yourself just to please other people. This is a choice that you have to make. Now, if your accent is getting in the way of your ability to be understood, and if people don't respect you, they don't value your level of education, your level of expertise in a certain subject area, because your accent and grammar are tending to get in the way of your delivery and communication, well, then it might be something that you'd like to consider. And it's also something that I find a lot of language enthusiasts and language lovers like to learn about because they're interested in linguistics and phonetics and language patterns. And that's perfectly okay too. There's room for everybody, but don't feel forced or pressured into learning the American accent simply because you think it's wrong to have a foreign accent, because it's not. I'll be making future videos on the 4 different components that make up accents, but for now, I hope that this was informational and insightful for you if you didn't know anything about accents before. Please make sure that you like this video and that you subscribe to my channel for more videos on topics like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!